Hey, hey, hey. Hey, everyone. What's going on? We're on the couch. It's Damien, of course, and I got Miss
Jackie.
Yes. I'm going to wait for a couple people to come on and catch us in our thing. I don't want to start spilling out beans.
Because nobody is on yet. So what I was going to say is the next time we introduce ourselves, you always catch me off guard with that. You got to give me a 1, 2, 3, and then I'll be like,
no,
Jackie, I do that every time. So you got to let me know when you're going to do that.
It's real.
Oh, I'm getting Snapchats.
You got one.
Oh.
What's up, D-Tate? What's going on with you? What's going on? That's my people right there.
Okay, all your people come on first.
Hey, we here. We out here. So, again, we're just following up this week from our last week's video regarding self-care. And today we're going to be, I guess, diving in a little bit more in regards to self-care. And that's maintaining, or how to maintain, establishing and maintaining your peace of mind. I think that's a good topic.
I think we all need to work on that continuously.
Yes, absolutely.
It's just something that I'm discovering, and I'm pretty glad that we're talking about this because this is something that, you're on the phone with your friends and they kind of rely on you for the therapist's opinion. They wind up telling you things, and then you want to start leading them towards those things. And I find that in a lot of those conversations, that's when my friends really start realizing they may need to talk to somebody. And not me all the time about those issues.
Because as a therapist, we still have our own things that we deal with on a daily basis, and maintaining a peace of mind is also a strategy and actually a process and things that we do on a daily basis in order to maintain that. So today we're going to be talking strategies or some things that you can do to maintain that peace of mind.
Yes.
Hey Mimi, how are you? Hope all is well. Hope everyone's having a blessed day. What's up, Elise?
Hey girl!
How are you? We're coming in here. We're going to give a piece of our mind to you guys so you guys can have a peace of mind.
That was good. That was good. So where do you want to start with it? Do you want to go in order of how we got this set up?
Yeah, sure. That's not a problem. I mean, we're flowing. We're free flowing. We're fluid right now. So we want to keep it in our natural state. We're relaxing on the couch. That's what the couch is supposed to be.
Let me relax on the couch.
It's not
nervous on the couch.
Don't be nervous.
Okay, let me relax on the couch. So, Damien, I want you to introduce the discussion about social media and how, from your standpoint, because we give our own opinions. As therapists, every therapist has their own opinion, which I think is very important to know as well. When you're seeking a therapist, that you need to get to know your therapist before you make the decision on whether that's the person you're going to continue to see if their viewpoints are in line with what you're trying to accomplish, right?
And sometimes it may not coincide with your viewpoints, and that may be a good thing because your perspective
needs to be challenged
and changed in order to change some of those emotions and some of the behaviors that you are exhibiting. So not only just trying to find someone that's going to co-sign some of the foolishness that you are dealing with, but someone that's actually going to challenge those belief systems that you may have had all of your life.
You know what? That's a whole nother topic we need to
do.
On how to select the right therapist and then how to know when to leave your therapist. But you're right. I think that came across wrong. I think what I was saying is just that, you just want to make sure that your core beliefs and things are in alignment before you seek counsel from that person.
Absolutely.
But I want to know about your viewpoints on social media and how to maintain your peace of mind while you have accounts on social media, because those are weak moments at times when we are scrolling and trolling quietly and subliminally.
So, first part in maintaining your peace of mind, not really first part, but this is really a significant issue, especially in the social media age, is kind of, I guess, maybe comparing yourself to other people. And when you're scrolling, you're comparing your life to others, which can impact you negatively. And one of my recommendations and one of the things that I do personally, it may not work for everyone, but I definitely take time to deactivate myself from social media.
Okay. No, I need you to explain to them what you mean. Because we got to stop sometimes and then,
yeah, absolutely.
Talk about what that means. So can you explain what that means?
Deactivating your page, pretty much logging off. You can remove the app symbol off of your phone, whatever the case may be, but you can actually go into, Facebook to the settings and actually change it to deactivate it. It could be for a week, it can be infinite. And then I think after a certain period of time it actually closes, but you can actually deactivate it. And I kind of recommend that, to kind of just remove yourself from negativity for one, drama-filled people. Our society in general is just, most of the time it's negative. So doing that is usually a great thing, just to, one, center yourself, as well as maintaining and developing a good sense of self and where you are and what you're trying to accomplish in the future.
So do you actually do that? Do you actually, you take Facebook off your phone?
I take Facebook off my phone. The only way I would access it if I have to actually log in, through the web browser.
Right.
And that takes too much time. So, but if I'm feeling flustered or I'm getting overwhelmed with work or just life in general, I've actually taken several breaks. It may be a week, it may be 3 days, it may be a day. It just depends on what's going on.
Can we take Instagram off like that too, and then come right back?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now that I know I can come right back, I'm learning. So, okay, because I've been afraid to press those buttons. Now, what I do is I deactivate my Facebook account when I'm feeling some type of way, and then I'm like, well, they'll just have to miss me for a while. And I always want it to be a couple of weeks. It's usually like 2 days.
And the crazy thing is, you're not going to miss anything. People fear that they're going to miss something, like the world is going to end, like the rapture is going to come, and you're like going to miss everything because you're not on social media.
Well, some of us don't watch the news, and we watch Facebook feed.
But on an emotional side, studies have shown that constant social media scrolling or trolling leads to increased depressive episodes, anxiety, fear, so on and so forth. So definitely from a psychological and emotional standpoint, give yourself time to breathe and just get with yourself. Like, read a book, do something different, meditate, pray, do what we talked about last week, as far as like getting into different hobbies and interests and things like that, and getting off of social media for a bit. I know, who's the owner of Facebook? Is it
Mark Zuckerberg?
I know he don't want to hear this, but take a break. It's okay. It's okay. If my Facebook Live go down, y'all know why. It was Mark Zuckerberg. It wasn't me. Okay.
So social media withdrawal. I'm trying to think the last time I did that. I used to be really good at that. I haven't been doing that lately. I think I'm becoming more addicted to it lately because I'm doing more things now. And when you're business owners and you're trying to do stuff that you want people to see, you're on social media way more.
Absolutely.
I also need to restrict that probably too, and only talking about it now out loud, am I really aware of that?
Right.
But I probably need to restrict that. But some of you may be wondering how you can tell if you're on it too much. And I would say if you're having feelings, like real feelings, about looking at someone else's stuff, and it has nothing to do with you, that's the first sign. Another I would say is, if you wake up and reach for your phone before you wake up and do something else that you believe is important to do, then you need to stop. Yeah, I believe that for weeks I had neglected praying in the morning because I was rolling over with my eyes closed, reaching for the phone. I'm so bad that I turned down the dimmer on the light in the morning because I'm like, I'm not people proof. I don't want to, it's too bright, but I want to see what people doing at 5 o'clock in the morning. So I need to get better about doing that, and now I'm more aware.
But again, just definitely utilize that time to learn yourself and what you like to do. And if you can't do like a total social media detox, maybe just do it like first thing in the morning.
Look, he said like that's his wife. Jay said that's his wife.
Oh,
okay. That's okay. He still love her.
But definitely pass on this information, Jay. Just definitely pass on this information. But, you can start your day off by just checking in and seeing, what's going on, and then wait till the end of the day when you're shutting down to kind of check it.
Sure.
That's not a total detox, but that's a reduction.
Okay.
And that opened up more opportunities for you to be involved in other things.
And to be present.
Be present with your family, kids, husband duties, wife duties, all those things. Let's get back to more communication versus, we're in the same household and we're sending texts to each other.
Instant gratification.
Right. So utilize that time to gain, positive affirmations of yourself, exercise, and just simply be in the present, in the moment, in your own thoughts and your ideas. And that's where creativity, begins and, it's rooted from, is that time that you have to yourself.
Yep.
So what are you thinking about that? You think you're going to go through a whole social media detox?
No. No.
Are you going to?
And I'm self-aware. I'm going to reduce it. Instagram, I managed to be off of Instagram all the years that Instagram has been in existence. Last year I got on Instagram, and I am fixated with the instant gratification of like just clicking on and looking at photos. And then there's stories, and it's like, oh, there's a story, there's a photo, there's a story, there's a photo. So I'm looking at that, and I'm trying to withdraw from that consciously. I think Facebook, I don't have a problem with that anymore because Instagram replaced my Facebook problem. I'm not interested. I'm just being honest.
So you just replacing.
I did do. Are you judging?
No judging.
That's not what therapy's for. But
we
have a personal relationship, so I'm just saying, don't judge me. I'm just saying, I had to step away from Facebook, and then I did that subconsciously because the instant gratification with Instagram, it was way more. It was happening quicker than getting onto Facebook. And it's like Facebook, you have to look through stuff to find stuff, but Instagram is photos everywhere. So it's just there.
For me personally, I've only been on social media for maybe the last 3 or 4 years. And I really started social media, really just Facebook, because I was addicted to Candy Crush. Anybody knows about Candy Crush? I was addicted to Candy Crush.
One of those people.
So I would always need tickets and everything. So I had to have my Facebook account.
I would need tickets.
I needed tickets. So that's the only reason why I really got on Facebook. But it can be utilized in a positive aspect for things in regards to business, connections with people and things like that. So I definitely don't see it as a negative. It's just that too much of anything is a bad thing.
That's
so we have to be mindful of that in order to maintain our peace of mind.
Okay.
Yeah, I see you, Tasha. You still play. I haven't played in like maybe a year or two. I went through Candy Crush rehab, everything.
I've never played it.
I went through it all. My sister knows.
Okay. Which one is your sister?
Candace.
Oh, hey.
Yes.
Hey, girl. Hey, sis. So, do you have the next point?
So the next one of the next things, and this is really, really important besides social media, I guess this is in conjunction with social media.
Everyone share.
Yes, please share this video.
Everyone share.
Please share
Thanks,
this live.
Jay. Everyone share this.
I appreciate that, definitely. Please go to our page, like the page.
And then
go to
share
our
it.
Instagram, even though we're just talking about social media, but go to Instagram as well. The Couch
704 on Instagram.
Yes, definitely. But definitely, I guess I'll skip down one, but definitely in order to maintain your peace of mind is to be able to let go of negative people.
Okay, so we need to.
Ooh,
that's
a pretty big one
calm
right
myself.
there.
I'm glad I didn't have coffee before we came here.
That's a pretty big one.
Okay, are you gonna?
It's a difficult one. Let's say if you have like a friend or a best friend and a group of friends that you've been around all your life.
Or a family member.
That
you've been around. I think that's really key because I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm going to cut you off.
Fine.
So look,
we're on the couch.
You people who have somebody negative in your family, your sister, your auntie, your mom, I call them emotional leeches. When you know something negative is coming, it's bound to happen.
Right.
And you cannot figure out how to navigate through the relationship with your boundaries.
Right.
And a lot of you aren't even aware that you need to have them.
Yes.
And then when you are, you don't know what to do. So let's talk about that.
So, I mean, you can't really choose your family, but you can choose your friends. So definitely utilizing your discernment and choosing wisely in regards to who you allow in your personal space because I'm not sure exactly who said. I think it was either Will Smith or Denzel Washington. They said you can tell who you are by the people that you're around the most, the top 5 people that you're around the most. So if you reflect on the people that you're around the most, that'll kind of tell you a little bit about yourself.
Okay.
If you're around losers, then you're probably one too.
Well, I'm around you.
Well, that means you're a great person.
Okay, I just wanted to see if you're going to be quick with that. What does that mean?
But definitely, and I agree with that, Tasha, definitely as far as managing your own vibe and your own connection, boundaries are necessary for maintaining peace. And if you know these people are negative, being able to keep them at arm's reach and love them from a distance.
Okay, let me speak. I'm
Yes,
dying.
go
I'm
ahead.
inside. There's a fire
Please,
burning in my
do.
esophagus. So I want to let it out. So let me tell you this. This is why I feel so passionate about this, because I have a lot of conversations with a lot of girlfriends. And when I say a lot of, it's my group, but there's at least 7 of us. And there's someone in all of our families who is draining. A family, right? Sometimes it's a mother. Your mother calls you every day. I've got to answer. She's my mother. I got to call her back. She's my mother. My mother is dealing with this. She's dealing with that. There's going to be people that are sick, right? People are going to be sick. People are going to be short on their bills. People are going to be agitated by other people.
I agree with that.
But you can control and set the boundary for what you allow in the conversation.
Absolutely.
And so let me just give an example. There was someone I was talking to a week or 2 ago, a friend of mine. And I think I drifted negative in the conversation. And his reaction took about 5 seconds. And then after we got off the phone, I realized why he reacted the way he did. And so he's a friend of mine. And what he said to me was, hey, I don't think you're people proof right now. And I got some things to do. So I got to go. And then I'm going to call you back later. And then he hung up like really quick. And people proof is my word. It's my phrase. Okay. And I say that all the time. When people call me, my girlfriends call me, or they're constantly texting me, they're reaching out. I'll say, listen, honestly, I'm not people proof right now. I can't do it. I'll call you when I am. They know exactly what that means. It means
cool
don't come to me with your ish, because I can't handle it right now because I'm handling my own. It's my way of putting up the wall and saying, I can't do you in this right now, but I can pick it up later when I feel better.
Absolutely.
And so I love, number 1, that he used my phrase. Number 2, it was not rude. He was letting me know, listen, this is the reason I gotta go. Basically, I'm in a good mood. I don't want to allow anything negative to kill it. I can't do the energy. So I'll check on you later. And he did. And then I said, I appreciate you saying that, because now I know what I could be giving off to someone else. So a lot of you need to be more real about when you're people proof and when you're freaking not. Because if you tell people that, you might save some of your relationships, and you might help to keep something a little more positive centered. I think so, honest. Okay, thanks. Yeah. You can use that with your clients.
Yeah, people proof. Y'all, hashtag people proof.
Hashtag people proof. Wait, I don't know if I want everybody using my phrase.
Use it.
Okay, now y'all see it. People proof. Tell people, you know what, Mom. I tell Mom this, when my mom gets a little on the phone, and I'm like, Mom, I'm not people proof right now. I'm gonna call you back. And she says, okay, and she hangs up. So you need to just be real about it. People proof. I'm not people proof. Those friends that text you at 7 a.m. in the morning when you're not up, text them back, I'm not people proof. Talk later. That's all you need to say.
Right.
And no is a complete sentence. No. Wait, how you do that? No. Okay, because y'all are watching this way. And then dot. That's a complete sentence.
It is.
No, not right now. Talk later. Boop. Any of my friends watching this, they already know what the deal is. Don't be talking bad about me behind my back.
Okay. That was a good one. I'm gonna utilize
I'm not people
that.
proof.
Like, seriously. And Elise, let's see what Elise is talking about. She says about reciprocity, and we have to start investing in those that invest in us. Absolutely. Checks and balances. People have this concept of family that has to take a certain priority, and even over your own.
Absolutely not. I don't believe in that.
I totally agree with that, Elise, and I appreciate your input and your comments.
Wait, we're saying the same thing, right? We agree with what? Okay.
Yes. I have to give it back. If I'm giving it out, I need to get it back. in some way, shape, form, and fashion.
And I don't believe, let me be very clear, I do not believe in family first in that sense. It's you first, then family second.
Yeah.
For sure. Otherwise, you wind up in therapy when family should be in therapy.
And that happens pretty
all
often.
the time, because that's what we're dealing with in therapy.
And it's usually not the child, it's usually the people
with you
around
and
that
not
child.
your family.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Totally agree. All right, number 3, third tip. This is a pretty big one as well, and I see it a lot, and it just kind of irks my nerves. But stop being so easily offended by what people say. Just stop being so easily offended.
If they're not as easily offended, they won't be coming to therapy.
That's fine. That means we were living in a better place.
Okay, we can talk it out.
I want people to work me out of a job. That's totally fine. I'm cool with that.
Wait, we missed. Heck, somebody asked a question. How do you handle people that what? Can you type the how do you handle people question again? Or can you scroll? Oh, how do you handle people that try to set your boundaries for you? Oh, can I?
Yes, you can.
Okay, so.
How do you do it?
Okay, well,
Jackie?
Okay, Damien knows me. Damien probably. Okay, that's really get him. Okay, sorry. Damien knows me, so you should probably already know how I would answer this, but you all don't know me. So when you say people that try to create the boundaries for you, I'm just going to give a constructive general answer. The answer is you don't handle them. You don't always have to do something. You don't always need to figure out a way to deal with other people. Don't deal with them. That's the answer.
Before?
Don't deal with them.
What's
no.
the sentence?
No. Dot. And it doesn't have to be that you're not people-proof at the moment. It could be, you know what? I really appreciate your input, but I'm going to go a different direction with this. So thank you. People need to learn to become advocates for themselves.
Absolutely.
You're constantly advocating for people around you. Don't do that to my friend. Don't do that. I mean, what about you? Right. So I think you need to become more vocal in those situations and just let them know, I appreciate that, but no thank you.
Right.
And there is no better way you can say that, and there's no one that can argue with that. Well, she said no thank you. I guess she's in a mood. I guess she got an attitude. Right. That's okay too.
Right.
And they can be offended. Because as he's saying, it's okay.
Yeah. To maintain your peace of mind, sometimes you got to be a little bit selfish and just say no.
I say that all the time.
Like for me,
hell no.
I used to have like really bad, like road rage, like really bad.
I have it now.
So like if someone cut me off in traffic, or if someone asked me to stay late doing some work or something like that, I get easily offended, and it'll like throw a wrench in my day. So that kind of disrupts my peace of mind. Those small little things, or someone says something that you didn't like, or you read a post on social media that you did not agree with, and it just rubbed you entirely the wrong way, and it affected your entire mood for a specific amount of time. It could have been the rest of the day, and then it started to pour into your relationships with your significant other or your children, just because of social media.
Okay, I have a phrase for how to help the women with that, but I don't know if I can say it, so I've got to tell you quietly before I say it. In therapy, say being a nice bitch. Can I say that and explain it?
Sure.
Okay, all right, so this, I mean, because we're all adults, but basically, I don't want to contaminate our nice professional feed with some non-realness. So to be real about it, when I'm with my adult clients, the female clients who, are we taking new clients?
Yes.
Yes, we are always taking new clients. Oh, you can look us both up on Psychology Today, right?
Yes,
Damien
absolutely.
Harmon on Psychology Today website, and I'm Jacqueline Curry on Psychology Today's website.
And you can go to our page, has our contact information.
Oh, the page on Facebook?
Yes.
Okay, the page that you're on now viewing us, Boo, the information is there. So you can catch it there. Or you can inbox us privately.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, the phrase that I'm excited about, it's called being a nice bitch. Ta-da! Be a nice bitch.
That wasn't too bad.
Okay, I'm saying it in a nice way, but it's not like a nice bitch. It's just a nice bitch. Be a nice bitch about it. When someone comes to you with things and you want to tune it out, you need to be a nice bitch about it, and you've got to think that phrase before you respond. Let me be a nice bitch. First, you soften it by saying something nice. I appreciate blah, blah, blah,
Right.
but then you hit them with the bitch. I can't. I'm sorry. And most times I don't say I'm sorry. I just say I can't and maybe later. And sometimes I don't say maybe later. But that's the bitch part about it. A bitch is not about being mean. The bitch part is about being the boss of yourself.
And being assertive.
Yes, and being assertive with what you need. And
Right.
a lot of our clients are not. And they're also coming to therapy to learn how to be assertive.
Exactly.
And deal and handle with other relationships and other people.
Absolutely.
So I would say be a nice bitch about it. Smile. My mom told me, smile when people come to you and stuff like that. Can you work late? I really want to do that and help you out because I love working here, but I'm really burnt out. So I think that's not a good idea today. And as long as you smile when you say it, it's really hard for people to react in a real negative way about it. They're just kind of struggling like, she said something I don't like, but her face is, she's such a nice bitch.
Right.
That helps. Be a nice bitch. Boop. Right? You like that?
I think I've had enough of the bitch for today.
I am too.
Okay. So are we good on that aspect?
You don't like my phrase anymore?
No,
it's helpful to women. Okay, because that's helpful.
Yeah.
Okay, don't stop on our stuff.
So what can a guy say? We can't say.
Well,
we can't say be a nice bitch.
No, but I'm just saying, since you say you're done with it, a lot of women may take something from that because what do you all tell us? Our attitude, the way we say things. And so I'm just trying to help with that. Smile when you say it. And smile. Damien knows I have a cursing problem. I'm trying to stop cussing. Why would you do that?
We need a session just
anyway,
for that. We need to understand why that is.
We'll talk about that later.
Yes.
So anyway, how do men approach turning things down? You said that you used to have an issue with that, but now you don't. So what changed?
I wouldn't say, it's still a work in progress for me. I'm still that, I've always been a giver, and I'm sort of an empath by nature, so I always want to see people succeed. I want people to be in good spirits, and sometimes even at the, I put myself out or hang myself out to dry for other people sometimes. So now I am myself working on being more selfish in that aspect and saying no. And saying no, I can't do this, or I won't allow this to happen, or you won't do this to me, or no, you're going to have to, because they're going to go to the next person.
Interesting. You won't do this to me.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
We need to put emphasis on that.
Right. So
You won't
can do it to somebody
this to me.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's a moment.
I mean, it's a process that I'm learning, and I'm getting. It's okay.
All right.
It's all right. Okay. So, what was that? Number 3. So
yeah.
Number 4. So again, that one was just stop being so easily offended by other people, right? All right, so number 4 is, and I love this one because you guys know I'm all about how your thoughts dictate how you feel and how you behave. So this one is like really near and dear to my heart.
Where are the new ones? Oh, there. We were behind.
Oh, yeah, snapped.
See
that? All this stuff.
See the girls? I'm tired of holding my tongue. Hey, Kanisha, I'm tired of holding my tongue. I know that's right. That's what I'm talking about, girl. Don't hold it. Just tell them. No, I can't do that. Just as easily as they ask, that's as easy you could tell them no.
Yeah.
Or hell no, whichever works best. Now, you were saying?
Thank you, Mimi. I appreciate that. So, number 4 is to start thinking that you're already in a peaceful mind state. It's the thought that kind of provokes that emotion and how you respond to certain situations.
Jay said, men say thank you in advance and say no tth you. Okay, I got it. You know how people say thank you in advance?
Yeah.
No thank you.
Okay. I can take that.
Okay.
Cool. Well, or sometimes we just don't respond if you send it through a message and we don't like
Ooh, okay, so we'll talk about the psychodynamic effect of men not responding to text messages on a later date. I'm going to put that in the notes. You know what? Give me my phone. I need to put that in the notes.
Wow.
We'll talk about that one. No,
so okay. Don't pay her no attention.
We had that too.
So like I'm saying, like start thinking about or start thinking that you already have peace in order to have a peace of mind. So if you think about it, then it'll be expressed in your emotions and your behavior. So if you believe it, then you can start. You'll start kind of seeing it in your life because you believe that it's happening. Whether that's your focus is from a biblical standpoint or from a clinical standpoint, from a spiritual standpoint, whatever the case may be, being able to think it in advance or believe that it's happening already will put you in that mindset to be at peace.
Okay, say it again about believe that what's happening already.
Just believe it. Just believe that you're already in peace and it's already there. You just don't see it as of yet.
She said, I'm afraid that snap will turn into a pow pow. Oh, you see?
Sandra and Elise.
We need to do a different one just for women. I got you. We're going to do...
Oh, Lord.
And he doesn't have to be here. So,
Well,
look, I got some Windy City love. I know that's right. Hey, Q. I know, shout out the home team. So anyway, all right, go ahead. That was
so
important.
again, changing your thoughts to believe that you're already being freed from that lack of peace, and you'll finally start to experience it. It all starts up here. Everything that we experience from an emotional standpoint, it's not physical, it's not anything like that, it's not necessarily genetic. It starts up here and what's ingrained in your brain and how you think and how you process things.
Let me speak about that on the heels of what you're saying.
Go
Okay.
ahead,
There's a book called Happiness is a Choice that I discovered going to grad school. And in fact, when I went to my grad school interview, the lady interviewing me asked me what I was reading at the time. And I guess it was just part of their interview. Right. And I told her happiness is a choice. And I was literally trying to find out why I was choosing not to be happy. And this is something that we do, and we do not become aware of it, and we are not aware of it all the time, because a lot of times we don't have people in our Fab Five group that will tell us, you're exuding crap, right? You're not somebody whose energy I can absorb right now because I don't want to be entangled in that. But happiness is your choice, and you can choose to not allow people to offend you, and you can choose to put your mother, your sister, your auntie, and your best friend on a shelf. Put them on a shelf like you do with the peanut butter when you're not using it. Put it up at the back of the damn shelf. Whatever. You bring things to the front of the shelf when you use them more, when they're useful to you. And that's what you need to do. And that's a phrase that I use with my clients. You need to put your mother on a shelf. You need to put your brother on a shelf. There's nothing coming in that's feeding your positive state of mind and feeding you happiness. So you need to cut that. So it's a choice. Stop walking around making excuses for not feeling good. You choose not to feel good. As Cat Williams said, he said, no man can make a woman feel bad about herself. Stop saying, he made me feel this way. He made, like, no, it's self-esteem. What did he say? He used the B word, but he was like, it's self-esteem. Esteem of yourself. So that's what that is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No one has that much control to the point to where they control the way that you think and the way that you feel. Unless you're Pinocchio or you're a puppet or something like that, you got strings on your legs and your arms. No one can control you.
Oh, that's a good one to use, counselor.
You decide whether you relinquish that control or not. But at the same time, they can't control unless you relinquish that control. Ooh.
You're pretty good. If we weren't friends, I would see you for there. I'm over here like, damn, Damien. Let me write that down. Use it with my clients.
Ethics.
Okay, that's good.
I'm
big on ethics too.
Yeah, no, I can't.
We're like two nerds. Anyway, that's why we're here together. Did y'all notice we were matching? I have on blue flowers. I like that. And Damien has on blue flowers.
Coincidence.
When I came in here, definitely. I love that. I feel like we're like those black people on SportsCenter. Mike and is that her name?
Jamil
yes.
Hill.
I'm sorry, I don't watch SportsCenter.
But she's not on
those
anymore.
Two, I know not anymore. She has her own stuff now. Happiness was her choice. She moved.
Got it.
Back to the basics.
Okay. So our last and final one for this evening, as far as tips in order to maintain your peace of mind, is to don't be afraid to take a break.
Okay. From anything.
From anything. From people, from things, from responsibilities. Don't be afraid to take a break or even change your entire environment. So that could be
your job.
That can be your job. Not necessarily. You can maybe do some self-care, like go to the beach, or if you're financially strapped, just do a staycation and just stay at the crib and just don't do anything for several days. Just wake up and just be a bum.
Part of stress is people trying to do things that they can't do, that don't make sense.
Yes.
And then feeling bad about it afterwards, trying to keep up with the Joneses in all kind of ways.
Absolutely.
And help you lose your peace of mind.
Right. Absolutely.
Okay, I don't do that.
What do you do?
I do me. I do whatever I want to do whenever I feel it. And I don't want to think about other people's opinions before I do it. If I want to have fun with my son and it's a tight time financially, I find things we can create in the home.
Right.
Things we can do and memories we can create without spending money. I literally have to think of it week by week. Like, do I want us to spend money outside the house this week? And I have to try to tell myself, we don't have to do that all the time.
Right.
This day and age, it's like the parents under 40, it's like we feel this obligation to entertain our kids, right? Like, where am I going to take them this weekend? Where are we going to go? What are we going to do? You don't have to keep them, in the house watching television, but, there are times, I tell my son, turn that TV off. No, you watched it this morning. There'll be none for the rest of the day. Maybe later tonight. But we've got to find what we like to do together. We got to find fun stuff. And so I think that's part of it. And the other thing is that I check myself. So when I start to feel, and we can talk about this during another talk where we talk about CBT and how to change your cognitive process so that it benefits you and your well-being and your peace of mind. But I have to check myself and say, Jackie, that doesn't even make sense. Like, it doesn't. And like we talked about before, I had to start turning down invitations to do things. Because if it's not something I really want to do, I'm not doing it.
Right.
And so I can say, you can happily withdraw, too, from anything. Wedding invitations, birthday invitations, going out to dinner, going on a date, whatever. You can just say, you know what, it's not a good time for me, but I'll let you know next week. Or next time, I'll let you know.
That's okay.
And I think that's good. I've learned to do that.
Take a break.
Very well.
And or if it's an environment that constantly interrupts your peace on a regular basis, then you might want to look at changing that environment permanently, like removing yourself from that environment.
You know what? I want to talk about that real quick.
Yes.
So basically, I did this. Well, this is ironic, but anyway,
that's another story.
I did this with my job, but this is important because my coworker is my friend. And she told me one day after a meeting, like, what are you doing? You're so negative. It's just negative. Everything coming in your mouth is negative for the past 2 weeks. And, are we done? Are we done? And then she got up and walked out. And instead of responding and going like the back and forth and she has an attitude, I started thinking about it while she was talking. And I said, I have had an attitude. And I was kind of shaking my head while she was talking. I have had a bad attitude. And so by the time she said, are we done? I just shook my head and said, yes. And then she said, good, and got up and walked out. And I was not mad at her. I was thinking, she got so tired of sucking in my energy.
Right.
I need to do something. And she did tell me before she walked out, if you don't like it, you need to leave and do something else. Yeah. And within 2 weeks, I had negotiated a full-time job somewhere else. Hallelujah. So I called her I actually called her later that day and apologized for pushing my negative-ish off on her. Right. And I told her I wasn't aware. I wasn't self-aware. So I was glad that she did that. Now, I don't expect most people watching this to do that because you're not clinically inclined to the language and you're not trained to be in tune with your emotions like we were. Weren't you trained in your master's program to be in tune?
Yeah, you have to.
Okay, I thought you were joking when you were like, yeah. I thought you were just talking. Okay, so yeah, I received the proper training. I don't know about that, but basically, we had to write my own obituary. I mean, we had to do stuff like that. We had to do that, and I still have it. But it awoken in you, and it awakes in you things that you don't think about on a daily basis. The obituary is, tell us what you think people are going to say about you.
Exactly.
And you need to be thinking in your mind before you go to work in the morning, what am I exuding when I'm normally here? Right. And how do I want people to perceive me? And that will help you to figure out whether that's someplace you need to be or not. because after a year and a half, it was very clear after that conversation, I was done mentally and completely checked out.
Doing those daily and maybe several times throughout the day, that check-in with yourself and making sure that you're in the present, and if there's an emotion that you are exuding, then being able to accept that emotion, but at the same time being able to change that emotion at the same time. Acceptance leads to change. I always kind of say that as well. If you avoid it, then that means you're not willing to change it. So accept that anger, accept that frustration, accept that pissed off emotion, that whatever you're feeling, accept it in order for you to be able to change it. That's one of those dialectical type of behavioral type things. You got to be in on that.
I'm going to process that on my flight, on my vacation in the morning.
Process that.
Which I'm also doing, accepting the fact that it's hard for me to let go of things. And that's why I haven't been on vacation in over 10 years. Yeah, it's serious. You over here laughing, you see?
10?
I haven't been on a vacation in 10 years, but I haven't ever in my adult life taken days off consecutively in order to go on a vacation. So I've never really taken a real vacation, and that's why this one is important.
Yeah.
I took the days knowing that I was drained, and knowing that someone, my son's dad will take very good care of him while I'm gone, and I knew my problem was I couldn't let go. So it's being self-aware, and I really had to face myself in the mirror and say, he will be okay while I'm gone, and I can go. And so I have given myself permission.
Yeah. All day.
Right.
You got to go.
I'm out.
Peace.
5 a.m. 5 a.m.
Red eye? Okay.
The red eye. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I'm going to be traveling for 14 hours, but it's worth it.
Yeah, that's
all right.
a long flight.
Got to do new things. Challenge yourself, right?
New experiences.
Okay.
Brings positive energy.
Brings positive. My energy is positive. I'm dancing with no music. Cause I'm going.
I have a weird colleague, y'all. It's okay. It's okay. We're on the couch, so we're gonna process this.
Somebody said it's been 7 years for them. That's what I'm talking about. It becomes routine not to give yourself things. It becomes routine to become complacent with what's happening in your life.
Right. Yeah,
and then you don't step that far outside. It is scary for some people to say,
did it take someone to kind of, I guess, maybe check you on that?
It took friends for the past few years saying, you need it, you need it, you have to leave, you need a vacation.
Right.
Girl, you need a vacation. And I don't think that's normal for everyone around you to keep saying it. And once I decided, wait a minute, my brother has flight benefits I'm not using, and I have days, our PTO stuff, I started looking and I'm like, wow, I got like 7 days. And so I started the wheels turning. Then I mentioned it to my mother, who really drove it the nail in, and said, you have to do this. If you don't do this, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're going to be miserable. You need to do it now. And if you don't go now, you'll never go. I also got a passport expedited 6 months ago and never used it, with the intention to use it. So I become so fixated on the routine of going to work, being a good mom, cooking dinner, that I cannot imagine. A lot of moms can't imagine stepping away from their kids for 5 days and taking a vacation. But I'm on it, baby. And I'm going to be doing the live feed if I can from the island. From the island.
Talking about self-care, huh?
I am, yeah.
Whatever.
So that's exciting.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's a good example,
congrats.
though.
That's a good thing.
Thanks.
So those are just some of the basic tips, and we can go on and on all evening, really, talking about self-care and maintaining your peace of mind. That's an ongoing topic, and we're going to have continuous things like this as far as series are concerned, as well as additional information on top of what's being presented here that you can benefit from, that we may post on the page, or it may be available in a therapy session. So definitely utilize this information to catapult yourself if you're on the fence regarding therapy or getting the necessary treatment that you need, or you're struggling with something. Please, by all means, seek out help, and we would appreciate it if it was one of us, but there's a bunch of different therapists out there. But definitely take care of yourself. Self-care is very important, because if you're no good, you can only pour what you have into other
someone
people.
else, and you don't want to pour crap into somebody else.
Crap.
It is crap.
Just negative energy and negative vibes and everything. So definitely make sure that your cup is filled and overflowing before you go and pour into other people. You learned that
in church.
My cup runneth over.
A long time ago. It's been a time. It's been a while, hasn't it? Ooh, well, you know your friends.
Cut it out.
Okay,
Coming from Marshboro, you know we stayed in church.
Ooh, blasphemy. I know that's what I'm saying. Is that Elise? I wonder if it is.
It probably is.
We'll find out later.
Alicia's all over.
Okay,
She's
well,
all over
you know, we're just real here on the couch.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it. We covered everything?
Yeah. Again, self-care, maintain your peace of mind. Utilize these things on a daily basis until it becomes repetitive and a part of your daily routine.
Okay, hold on. I got something to add. If you are a believer in Christianity, Jesus Christ, you need to pick up Battlefield of the Mind. It's a book. And it discusses spirituality a lot with how to control your thoughts. So I just think it's important to mention that for people who it may appeal to. I love it. When I find myself in a negative place, I literally think to myself, where is that book right now? And I have to know where it is in my house, and I go find it. I read a chapter, and I am good. It literally jars my brain back to, you need to get your thoughts together. It's a good way to help you to stop your negative thought process. Joyce Meyer wrote that book. It's called Battlefield of the Mind, so check it out. You need it.
I've checked out Joyce Meyer a couple of times.
Well, check it out thoroughly.
Bedside Baptist.
Well, that's not Joyce. Oh, yeah, the TV.
Yeah.
Read the book. We got these degrees by reading, so we're going to encourage you to do what we have done. And so gain information from that book if you're struggling with how to keep yourself positive.
Absolutely.
Thank y'all. This was great.
And if y'all got any questions, please feel free. Hit me direct messages.
Yeah, hit him directly. I'll just find the information through him. That's fine.
Really?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. The couch, can they send messages to the couch?
Yeah.
Y'all can send messages to the page and we'll both read them.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I don't want people just sending stuff to you and I need to see it.
Because
you know how men are.
I don't need those problems.
Like, I handled that. I handled it. Okay, well then we'll see them then.
No. It's going to come straight to the page. So definitely, information is on there. Phone number, email address. You can hit us in the inbox.
I know that's right.
As well. Definitely, if you got any good questions, we'll be back
next Wednesday.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
Look out for the topic. If you got any questions in regards to the particular topics that we will be discussing, just hit us in the inbox or comment on the page or, respond to the post or whatever the case may be. And one of your questions or comments may be presented when we meet next Wednesday.
Okay.
All right.
Exciting.
Cool.
This was good. Good talk.
All hearts and minds are clear.
Do you say that at the end of your session? You are so corny. Do you say that at the end of your session? All hearts and minds. In church? Govern yourselves according. You acting up. You cutting up.
Therapy is not always serious. We want to reduce the stigma. We're trying to reduce the stigma associated with mental health and therapy and treatment. It's not all sitting in the chair. I'm not laying back in the chair talking about my childhood, and we're not doing all of that. And I'm not sitting there with my legs crossed and my glasses like this. I'm not doing all that. We're gonna learn. We're gonna have some fun, but at the same time, we want to make sure that we're balanced and we're in that positive state of mind and have peace. So that's where we're at with.
Have boundaries. Put people on the shelf. Be a nice bitch and maintain your sanity and peace of mind.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right.
See you next week.
Peace out.
Bye.
I said peace out. That's
really
whack.
weird.
Yeah, that's really whack.